Yo!
Yo!
What up, Internet?
What the fuck up, Internet?
Welcome to Bricks
And beer.
Beer episode 87?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a year I graduated from high school.
Weird.
Clink.
We're old.
Clink,
We're
dude.
old. Clink.
Clink.
We're gonna clink glasses.
There's all sorts of things being drunk here. I have some water too, but so what?
It's a wild time.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, before we even get into today's beer, whatever beer you're drinking, it's been a long time, my friend.
Look at this. Look at this. We're here. This is actually
crazy
happening here.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I looked it up shortly ago.
Mm-hmm.
The last time you were in this house and we recorded an episode was May 2019.
That's whack.
That was a while ago.
And not whack, lug whack, just whack.
Crazy. We've done some interstitial virtual shit.
We've done things.
We've done some social distance hangouts with some masks in the
Hung
outside.
out, been out there.
But then we both got the Fauci ouchie, and now we're okay to hang out together, and it's great. And we're drinking. You're drinking vodka, tequila.
No, tequila.
I'm drinking Tecate, and we're both drinking this, which is now gone, which is a michelada mix, spicy chilada, shrimp and sea salt. It's what do you think?
It's good. It's like bloody.
Okay.
It's Bloody Mary-ish, but I'm going with tequila tonight.
We're going with the old Tajín too. You know, we got fancy.
And I threw a little bit of the mango version of the.
Yeah, there's a vegan
bottle.
one. There's a vegan one if you don't want seafood in your tomato juice. But like, come on. What's hilarious is my Canadian friends will know about the Caesars, and there's definitely a thing about like, here are the things you could make. Bloody Mary, Bloody Maria, Bloody Caesar. And I'm like, isn't it just a Caesar? I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know what a Bloody Caesar or a Caesar is.
It's clam juice.
Drinking a Bloody Maria.
It's basically a Bloody Mary, but with clam juice. And I was like, we don't differentiate that. Apparently, they do differentiate that. A Bloody Mary is non-clam juice. And a Caesar is with clam juice. And I'm like, who makes up these rules?
I don't know, but that's exactly
the way I learned about this, Lego related, is the first time I went to Brick Can in a weird casino that had Chinese breakfast and Cinco de Mayo celebrations. And the bartender was like, don't you know about Canadiana? And I was like, is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
And then he made me a Caesar. So, shout out to you, Aaron. And Nikki. And
Canada.
All the Canadian friends.
Yeah. Never in my life would I assume a Bloody Mary had clam juice in it.
Here's the thing.
Am I an expert? I don't think so.
I'm somewhat acutely aware because my wife is vegetarian and she does not like squished up clams, whereas I think they are delicious. So I am down for whatever comes in the thing. I'm like, yeah, just keep it coming. Like, you just fucking go nuts.
I have not found a thing from the sea I don't like to eat yet.
Well, there you go.
Sometimes certain things can be prepared in a bad way. Like octopus can be too chewy, but sometimes it's delicious.
Oh my god, dude. We might have a follow-up episode about octopus. Dude, so anyway. Welcome back to your mom's favorite podcast about Lego beer and micheladas and tequila and hanging out with bros. You know, never let go. If we're off kilter and we're off base, it's because it's been a fucking long time.
It's been a while. I was in Portland, Maine, and I was in other places in Maine, and it was the first time in a year and a half my family went anywhere. And it was great and stressful at the same time, you know.
I thought of you the other day because I saw a car from Maine, and you know what it says on the Maine license plate?
I know some things.
Vacation state? Vacation city?
I saw one that actually just said lobster on it. Like it had a picture of a lobster and the word lobster. Not like printed,
just like graffiti
one
on there.
No, one of the designs. You probably had a couple different designs you could get, and one of them was lobster.
You could pay a premium for the lobster, the lobster plate. I guess that's probably what I would rock. But then I would have to drive a car that would look like a lobster.
I'm a fan of lobster, so yes.
Yeah. So data point number 1, it's been like 2 years since we've done this in person.
Yeah.
Data point number 2, it's been like, I don't know, 2 months-ish since I've put out an episode. Things happened. Sorry. We're back. We've got original Lego content. We've got a whole shit ton of builds to show you.
Yeah.
Jeff is itching to have conversations about original Lego builds.
I brought a bunch of shit.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
It wasn't even all of it, because it's too much, really. And
there's so much. There's so much.
It's been a year and a half of builds. I mean, I did some stuff about some of it.
Yeah.
And some of it that didn't even work out, like that submarine I
feel like there's a lot of like weird nebulous shit where it's like, because we've been in communique.
Yeah.
We kind of know what each other's been doing. But then like, you guys, the internet, you don't know what the fuck we've been doing for like a while.
I'm even pretty bad at like Instagramming.
Yo, dude, yeah. So
it's my rando builds that I pop on there every once in a while, but
yeah,
I feel like I haven't taken the good pictures yet.
So I think we gotta start with a number 1 build. I'm gonna call it Jeff's Hotness. You've been thunderstruck. It's lightning time. I
actually have a name for it, but I forgot it. It's like it's like Thunderbolt in Japanese.
Live and uncut.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay. See, so my notion was to make a lightning bolt ship. And since there's actually a ship in here, I made the ship part kind of super duper detailed. Let me see if I can get these antennas out without disassembling stuff. The stand's a little aggro. So there is landing gear. I'll get into that in a second. So like the guy in there is basically the CMF that's like a Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah.
Except
the cartoony helmet.
Yeah, I slapped one of my favorite like Exoforce faces on there instead of the standard one. But other than that, this is totally it. He's got a super detailed cockpit. He's got all kinds of greebles everywhere, like jets. There's working landing gear, which is a thing I usually don't bother with. He's got a pair of robot pals sitting in the back. Their thing goes up too. He's got this big fancy engine.
Show us the robot pals.
They're cute.
That's okay. A key part of it.
Robot pal number 1.
There's Jeff is a dude that likes to apply a lot of stickers to his builds.
So it's one of these dudes. I really thought like this robot is awesome and should get some play, and he even gets a little cape because he's a like hero. And then robot pal number 2 is a little flyer.
Yeah, this dude's. Oh, he flew away.
Yeah, it's this little guy. Neat little hands. Cool little details. Ninjago stickers, man. Like decorative and tech. Oh, I think Andrew, you gave me that very fun tile on the back.
Yes, I did.
So they both park in their little own fun cockpit down there.
And then this engine with your fucking just mad flex of those printed.
A whole bunch of those things that I brick-linked or...
They're the best.
Did you look up those? Anyway.
We did not, because I would have more.
And the shtick is, if you put like I would take a plate or a 1x10 tile and just go along the entire outline and make sure I couldn't touch anything. You come really close a couple of times, but everything is contained within the silhouette.
It's money in the silhouette.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good swoosh, And
it's also such an original concept. Like I've never seen anything along these lines.
Yellow Submarine was actually a bit of inspiration. Like when the blue meanies have sort of solid lightning bolt looking things that are zapping people, and then the deadly flying glove is sort of graphic.
Yeah, I could kind of see it in that, like that 70s.
It was really fun actually figuring how to make a good lightning bolt too. And the key was I had to give up. I mean, I realized I needed to use the vertical, the two main axes, like trying to work into it, like different levels of
angles. Yeah. I remember
much.
you kind of like fucking with the angles
Yeah.
and it not really working. I think one of the big successes too is that all of the mechanical bits are held within the silhouette of the Lightning, so you can do the profile, which is great.
So I really wanted to use these ski pieces for the lander.
And then do you want to talk about your fucking multiverse, alternate dimension version?
I have another lightning bolt. I've got this much of it.
You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
And the idea was it's going to be this thing 35 years later, but maybe it's flying around at the same time as this one, and maybe like this guy's head is like just rusted out and just parked on it somewhere. But
I like that. I like that. He's still part of it.
Yeah, but it's got a crane. You know, it's like being used for something else.
Yeah,
I have a super scuffed up windscreen that I'm thinking of, and it's that sort of like inverted, slopey one.
It's got a different life. It's got a different life.
But I was a little burned out. This one took a while, and like even though I got the parts for the second lightning bolt, I got a little burned out and decided to back channel that other one. So here's the landing gear. You got to really tweak it, and the thing is, it's like I'm putting studs into Technic anti-studs, which is always a bit of a tough sell. You know, like, see, it already popped off because I'm doing that.
Dude, I love that landing ski, that particular one.
It's
like
good.
that part.
Yeah. So, but really,
awesome.
This landing gear is more about the fact that like it's working landing gear that fits into the lightning bolt and it uses these skis. It's not super graceful. I feel like overall this is pretty graceful though.
No, I think it's fucking amazing. Also, total backstory, like we're gonna have like weird, deep personal cuts, I guess, in this episode because it's me and Jeff hanging out, and I forget how to function around other humans sometimes, and now there's one here. But like one of the things that fucking really trips me out about this is that the first time I broke quarantine to go see another person, which, to be fair, we were extra cautious. We were
super cautious.
Outside with masks on, with hand sanitizer, and like, it was like we were fucking like, it was, dude. If Outbreak was there were no monkey bites.
Yeah, I'm going to show you something on my phone, so mask up because I'm going to lean in.
And it was like literally, this thing has been covered in hand sanitizer. There was one point where at some point Jeff just sprayed it down. He just had to clean it. And I was like,
was it before I handed it to you or after you handed it back?
I think it was probably after I handed it back, to be fair, which is the best time if you're gonna fog it up with fucking antibacterial whatevers. But it was like, it was the thing where
and now I let him make my drinks.
Well, so there's two things about this. So Jeff and I, we've never lived close. We've never lived like I can't walk down the block to Jeff's house ever.
That would take a day.
But then you moved
further,
and you moved further
away.
So the first time I saw the lightning bolt,
I'm on the edge of nowhere.
Was kind of really when I made the trek out to the edge of nowhere, and we hung out. And I was like, oh man, like fucking, we're hanging out. And this is what the new normal's gonna be, the new unnormal. And then fast forward, and you're in my house now.
Hey,
and it's okay.
It's fine.
It's great.
It's kind of like the old normal.
Yeah. So
almost.
So all of my emotions are wrapped up in this. So like,
well, it's a lyrical piece.
Yeah, man, so kabam! This is basically what happened in 2020. It struck like a lightning bolt. Kind of sucked in the beginning, and then in hindsight, we were like, "It's okay." But this spaceship is amazing.
Thank you,
and I love
it's pretty swoosh.
Everything about this. And the greatest thing about this is that I feel like this imbues like kind of one of our best hangouts. So Jeff and I
fun.
Used to in the before times when there was a thing called Toys R Us, we would go hang out in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Outside Toys R Us.
Once by accident.
But then
once I texted the bros and I was like, hey, I just pulled into Toys R Us and this asshole pulled up next to me. And guess who? What? It was Andrew.
Yeah.
Totally for real random.
There were several times where it was just accidental Toys R Us hangouts. But then what that translates now into is like random park hangouts where you hang out by a plane and Jeff delivers a lightning spaceship.
Oh.
And I'm like, yes! And we ate sandwiches and it was great.
Yeah.
Burbank. So I guess that's enough about the lightning spaceship. This one's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
But before we go too further,
I think an arrow would be cool. I think another version of this, like an arrow.
Yeah.
I think would be neat. And that's really also very
and I think would be best. Exclamation point.
Well, let's talk about that.
You do you, internet.
Yeah, I got one right here. Ready?
Kabam! Kabam!
The camera always messes me up. So, next point of interest is this guy who I now call Carl, the living son. Hang on a second. Shout out to Ian Heath. Several years ago, he was at a Bricks LA.
You know that guy. He's the meme guy. He does the memes.
Oh, meme. I thought you said mean. Like he was a mean. Like.
He wants to be a mean girl. He makes all the memes. You guys know all the memes.
Freddie Mercury.
It's like everything on the internet. He's like, that's what he wants to do.
Anyhow, he made a Doom thing, like a bunch of little scenarios from Doom. And this is where we're going to use editing to find one of those pictures of his Cacodemon. Cacodemon, as you know, is sort of if you know anything about Doom, is like kind of looks like this, right? And if you find, when you look at the picture that we are going to find, actually, you're not just looking at an inspiration build, you're looking at this, because I ripped the face off of Ian Heath's Cacodemon and I made Carl, the living son. And yeah, he's kind of based on Solaris, which is like a Grant Morrison creation when he was writing JLA in the 90s, I think, like a supercomputer that's a miniature sun.
I love that eyeball.
Yeah. I also have a red 4x4 sphere to put over to swap out with his eyeball when I want him to be sort of in dormant shape. Yeah, the eyeball deserves a little attention.
Yeah, the eyeball's the, what is that
it's
fucked up DC set?
It's a Batman set, Brother Eye. Yeah. Brother Eye is like a satellite with an eyeball, that eyeball on it, with all the cool circuitry in it. And it comes with OMAC, which I think stands for One Man Army Corps. And I think Brother Eye beams stuff down to him like that he needs, like guns or I'm not really sure.
Is the Matrix?
I read a version of OMAC a long time ago. Like John Byrne wrote a black and white version of a dude with a mohawk, but it's not.
Okay.
The Lego one is like some sort of android with a big red eye and he's all blue and shit.
Well,
it's cool. I have a couple of that.
Speaking of Lego weirdos, we can't do this episode without following up on the last episode.
Oh,
which is a shout out to Jeff Rangel, the other Jeff, who had some Galador, and it needed a build. So here it is. Yeah. It's a spacesuit for this dude. He's wacky as shit. He's got an eye change.
Yep.
He can do the thing.
He's an action feature.
He's super angry. I guess it's okay. The thing is, to be honest, I built this like months ago, so I'm kind of like less enamored with it now than I was several months ago. When I built it right away, I took it to a place I was working at, and I presented it to a guy who we'll just call what do we want to call him?
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Bionicle.
Oh. Yeah, Bionicle Charlie.
Bionicle Charlie.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say Bionicle Charlie.
I think I even told him we were calling him.
So I presented this to Bionicle Charlie.
Not in any way like a derogatory name.
He was quite excited. He was quite impressed. So it's okay. You know, I feel like it could use a waist swivel. That's definitely a thing.
Did we talk? Did you refer to Charlie when you talked about when you brought the Galador set to work?
No, not at all. So okay. I did bring the Galador set to work.
Charlie wears Bionicle t-shirts every day.
It's a thing. It's not. I worked briefly for a place that you guys will never work, and it's called a magical fairyland of weirdos. It's the greatest art camp of all time, and Bionicle Charlie works there, and
There's nothing wrong with Bionicle fandom. I'm just like laying that out there.
I'm gonna say it's
you might catch some attitude in your life about being a Bionicle fan.
It's pretty intense.
Right now you might be catching it.
It's pretty intense.
In the next couple of minutes,
the amount of lore.
I got your back, dudes.
And
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Reverence for the lore of Bionicle. So yeah. Anyway, here's a thing. It's a space suit for a guy. Y'all remember this dude?
Right. Him.
Here's the thing.
Is his name Nepal?
Yeah, and then Shimo is the weird fucking
Am I right?
camel thing. You are right.
Because everybody knows.
Would you like me to get the poster?
No.
The thing that's great about this is the shoulder joint because it's double jointed, so it gets a full butterfly.
That is nice. He must be like super nice. So thin though. Right? Like his actual body must be just like whisper thin on those arms.
He's a jellyfish.
Oh.
Did you not know that?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, when I had, before I ever made that little tiki doll that I think I showed off once.
Sure.
I have the same guy in Happy Meal form. Like.
Yeah.
So just his head. I got it at a flea market or something.
Last time actually I recorded an episode. I did reference that, except you didn't have any photos of it. So I kind of glossed over it because I was like...
I have photos of it now.
This is the thing. So...
You're... Boop. Yeah.
Future Andrew has to do some work.
They're in my phone right over there, but I'll make sure he gets them.
Yeah. Look at that magic.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that magic.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jeff or Andrew, fucking thank you for the 20-year-old Galador, and I hope this makes you happy.
I've got a Ranjo tribute piece to be doing myself. I made a bunch of minifigs, like new characters off some stuff that he bequeathed.
Yes.
That's not the wrong way. You have to die to do that. Gave you. Not bequeathed. Don't listen to me.
Paid it forward?
Sure.
Whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, I'm giving my niece, my little 7-year-old niece, a bunch of my friends' mini dolls.
Oh, okay. So, news as of the last episode, I divested myself of my Bionicle, which I think I talked about last episode, where I gave Ranjo a shit ton Bionicle, which I felt super good about. And then all of my friends' mini dolls, except for like one little elite squadron of weird goth ones, I gave to a small child. And then I also got rid of...
Yeah, that was part of why I thought that was a good idea.
There was something else I got rid of.
You inspired me.
Where I was like, fuck yeah, like just... Like,
take it.
This is out of control already. Like, that part, I don't need that part. Just take that part.
It's overwhelming sometimes.
Make some more room. We don't have enough room.
There's a lot of Lego out there.
There's a lot of Lego in here.
And in here.
Yeah. So yeah. I guess we've got kind of like
there. Right in there.
What a weirdo.
Actually, we should be radiating from your head like a power. Or just anxiety.
Yeah, dude, no, that's exactly it. It's just like all the time. But you guys don't know anything about that. That's fine. We can skip over that part. Do you guys want to see a thing that's not really a build, but it's a build and it's a thing? We're still putting the signal out there.
Oh, that's all right. What's in there? Is it one of those? It was one of those 4x4 turntables that click.
It is.
I like that piece. I like that
piece a lot. And it's also apparently sexy Millennium Falcon
Yeah,
dishes. You know,
I have that quartet also.
So I wanted to build this because I had the quartet, and you know, I felt like I could Charlie Sheen it. You know, The Arrival. You know that movie?
Oh.
Not the new fancy critically acclaimed Arrival. The first one in Mexico City with Charlie Sheen.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, Arrival, dude.
Okay, is Terry Polo in that?
I don't know. The aliens have backwards knees.
Yeah, that's Terry Polo. I have a thing for Terry Polo.
And they have a salad dish. So we're still putting the signal out, bitches. That's the moral of the story.
I think at one point I was like, I have this. Let's both make one. It'll be like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, dude. Like fucking.
But
tin cans. And then what happened, Jeff?
I blew it off.
What happened?
I'm a shitty friend.
It's just me over here.
Yep. I'm a liar. Yeah. I was all like, I'm gonna build a submarine. It's gonna be super big.
Hey, Simon.
100 studs big.
Hey, Simon. Where you at, bro?
Ouch.
Zach.
I'm Simon now.
Zach, you out there?
I'm Simon.
Boop.
Hey, what did Zach do?
Boop. I think I heard back.
Are you harshing?
We'll see. To be continued.
Are you harshing on Zach for not finishing his ship? Or was he going to do this too? I don't know about this. I don't know what's going on.
So, speaking of space.
Except for that part.
Speaking of space. So Jeff went on a whole thing. You've had I feel like you've had kind of a spiritual journey. And when he showed up, I was like, yes, we can talk about these one by one in order, but I'm more curious about your overall kind of a thing. Like, now that I feel like you've found a thing that you can vibe on, that you're cranking out. You're cranking these out faster than I've seen you crank out anything else.
That's interesting. That's great. What we're talking about is microscale spaceships in the style of The Expanse.
Yes.
Have you seen The Expanse?
You know,
go watch The Expanse.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Read the books.
Read the books and go watch it. We'll wait.
Better than watch the show. Go read the books. Anyway, I read all of them. I'm allowed to say that.
I watched the show first. I'm 2 books into the 8-book series. And what's funny is I was just on vacation to Maine. And I had some Larry Niven books. And I brought some Lego with me. And I brought an Expanse book. But I didn't bring any of the stuff I'm about to show you. I missed them. Because because that's how I am. These guys right now live in a glass-top coffee table that Andrew found across the street. 2 days after I said, you know what I want to get? I want to get a glass-top coffee table just like Morrow's.
It was really weird. It's
the exact same table.
I don't think I have photos of it.
It's the exact same.
It's weird.
Table.
It's bizarre. It's
just like Morrow's.
It's like the same table.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, you guys don't really give a shit. I'm glad that you understood and you humored the gravity of that moment. It was weird to us. It's not weird to you.
I referred to later. I was like, yeah, I just went and picked up the table that Andrew magicked up across the street.
Yeah, because I got those low-key powers.
Yeah.
Where they're low-key. No. Anyway, spaceships.
So, if you've seen The Expanse, it's hard science fiction, and it was the first time that anything like hard sci-fi really grabbed me, and I tend to find that kind of it gets kind of tiresome or boring. And this is exciting. It's kind of like, what if you had to deal with G-forces and real stuff? And I had just finished Space Vegas 2 or The Ring or whatever this.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, we'll talk about Space Vegas later. This was God, the saga of Space Vegas. Rest in peace.
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Fell off the table. Anyway, I made this big hard science fiction kind of space station, and I'll take some here. There it is. That's what it looks like right now. I'm gonna rebuild it up later, but I got interested in some hard sci-fi spaceships, and the first one I made is actually not like you can actually sort of imagine. There's an obvious up and down going on here, so I wasn't quite vibing with the thing.
You've got some dark magic there with the trans red, right?
Oh yeah, that is.
Jeff is not above the purest line.
Okay. Well, actually, the hypo, that's a hypo that got cut in half too. The other half of it is going to come up later.
Deep breaths.
Okay.
Deep breaths, everybody.
Okay. You see this? You see this? Okay, that is that red, that trans red is the back end of a Bionicle Eyeball. And the reason I have that piece, that little tiny, like super short, like 1/8 of an inch piece of trans red lightsaber blade, basically, is because I sacrificed a bunch of my Bionicle Eyeballs, trans red color, to make this picture from the internet of a puppet that was on a television show on NBC. Right. So you're looking at the other half of that. But let's move on. Morrow got me this awesome...
You know our boy Morrow.
Morrow, shout out to Morrow. Morrow got me a bunch of really cool bricks and pieces, and among them were 2 of these cylinder things. So they're now held together with stickers. But, there's like a hair on this. Gross. So I put a bunch of little, there's like little bees on there. Right? And like I wanted to put some color into it, so I love this boat stud with this little off-centered piece, even though it's like dark azure. It's kind of weird.
Jeff, you know what I like most in my micro scale spaceships? When you put some little bees on there.
Well, there were sticker sheets. They came from like a cereal sticker. I also went nuts. Look at all these little silver squares. That's like I chopped up some stickers and I put shit all over the place.
We gotta clarify.
There's like 35 stickers on this.
Is Vita Rush and bees in the same family?
Same sticker sheet, but not the same family. See the bee over there? There's a bee on that side, and then another bee on the other side. Because this is this is the gravity ring on a corporate spaceship. Right, so like the VIPs get to have gravity when they go up in space and the losers don't. That's the idea about that.
The losers have to look at the bees.
And the losers have to bunk with the bees.
Do you guys want to know about bees? I had some fucking terrifying bees in my house.
Show them some pictures.
Hold up. Oh, it's awful. God. It's awful.
Oh, I was like right over there. Right?
Oh my god, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. It's gross. Gross.
I hated that. Let me give a shout out to Will Hafner right now, because he recently, we did a little swap. I gave him some whatever esoteric Bionicle pieces he was into, and he gave me a ton of weird brick arms, and like a lot of this is non-pro stuff.
I like that Will Hafner can easily be like traded in like weird Bionicle parts.
Oh yeah,
that's just the currency he functions in.
He loves Galador too. I gave him much of Galador.
Indeed,
everything I felt I could part with.
He already has the poster. I offered him up.
Nice. This is a bullet. It fits into a shotgun shell, but this is trans clear.
That is sexy.
And that's a lot of fun for cockpits. And this one is another kind of. It also fits into a shotgun shell, and I use this a whole bunch. This is
that one's pretty cool.
So it's a bar on the back, and I think it's a bar in the front too, on the pointy end, and then this little sort of double flared piece right here. Right. Now, I actually gave Andrew a little bit of the supply I have of those, and they're so fun. Like here, okay. So like, I actually was on the phone, the video phone. I was on a Discord chat with Mr. Zach Clapsaddle, and we talked about how this should be constructed. This is my next little thing, like this very obvious kind of like fuel transport. There's a little piece in the front, right, cockpit, and that's the kind of scale I'm thinking. Like that's one guy sitting in a big glass hemisphere, in like a funky chair, surrounded by stuff, holograms, or big, fancy screens. So this is the dude who's listening to country music, and then this is the guy who goes roaring past and listening to heavy metal, right? And there it is. I poked a bunch of those things in there. Very similar to I've been collecting various decorated hoogies to put on this.
So have you shown the pencil one yet?
Okay.
Because the pencil one,
this one,
I feel like it's great.
I used one pencil head. That's like that Batman movie character, right? So I imagine like this guy's got this like the cockpit and then this super narrow trip through the lightsaber, and then he hangs out in his little vacation module. Now I say vacation module because one of my last ones that I made, this became a series of 12. I bricklinked a ton of that head, and I put them in this frame. So there's a bunch on each side. But my notion was this was like, if you wanted to go touring in outer space, you and your family can rent one of these high-end modules, and like this frame kind of folds out. So I'm kind of imagining like, we're tooling around space, we're in 0G, so everybody goes out with their tethers and they play in outer space, and it's like there's no up in outer space, and a lot of these kind of play that, and a lot of these like there's like a secret up for every single one, so it's like kind of obvious which ends up, but there's an observation deck on both ends, and the eyeball windows are facing both directions.
I do love that you took a thing that like is exactly one of those things where like if you have one of, it's kind of useless.
Yeah.
But if you have a bunch of, then it's like, it's a thing. It's great.
And like these little, whatever those robot heads are.
Oh, the BB-8s.
The evil BB-8s.
The BB-8s.
Whatever. Like
BB-8s.
Like this is meant to be the shuttle. So this would stick onto a single module and pop off and go somewhere if they wanted to change location.
Here's the thing. I kind of feel like globally we can talk about all this kind of like scale of build. It's
Absolutely.
like I like that you can do more in a smaller format, and that like you can make a bigger world building aspect off of like a smaller thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna try to do this, not even minifig scale, but like any sort of other scale in between where you were like, I want to make this spaceship. It's like, fuck. Now, number one, there's like engineering challenges of like, now I got a 3-foot long thing that has a dumb radar dish that's hanging off the side of it. But like, also like, fuck all that noise. So yeah. I don't know. I think this is maybe kind of the comeback. Don't call it a comeback. I think shit's coming back to normal, right?
That feels that way.
Like I think maybe, just maybe, the next episode of Bricks and Beer might be a big deal. Oh. You guys are still here. Weird. You guys surprised me, I guess. Yeah, so it seems like I was hyping up a lot of stuff, right? Like, clearly laying some groundwork for some shenanigans, some fun times ahead. And, we were going to record things, but we were having too much of a good time. So let me tell you a story. And it's pretty fun. And I wish we had recorded something. But like I said, we were just having too much of a good time. So Jeff's birthday happened. He didn't know about it. I mean, he knew about his birthday, but he didn't know about his birthday party. Which is, thanks to his lovely wife. Shout out to you, Julie. She hit up Morrow and Zach, and some random dude who has a phone number that's one digit off from mine. And they rapped back and forth for a bit. Shout out to you, stranger. And, they were like, hey, I get a thing from Zach. Hi, Doug. And he's like, yo, are you seeing these text messages from Julie? And I'm like, 100% no. That's weird. And then I get a text message from Julie, and she's like, hey, we're going to do a surprise party for Jeff. And I'm like, yes, this is going to be fucking awesome. Because it's been a long time since I've seen any of these dudes. So we do it. And I think this is the thing that is beautiful about my friends and the whack lug and the whole vibe is that, like, Julie, being a good spouse, just puts it out. Like, hey, do you guys want to have a surprise sleepover? And then, you know, us being us, we're like, oh yeah, it's happening. Like, we're in 100%. Like, Zach was like, dude, are you in? And I was like, if you're in, I'm 100% in. Like, we are in. So we fucking invaded Jeff's house for his birthday weekend, and we threw a convention. It was fucking amazing. And it was great. It was like perfectly timed. We were very secret agent. And my whole thing is I like dumb jokes, right? I like dad jokes. I like dumb jokes. And there's this movie, this Weird Al Yankovic movie called UHF. You should see it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's remarkable. And it has a series of silly gags within it. And one of them is the supplies closet. You know, that one. Yeah, there's the dude and the guy. He jumps out, kicks him in the face. So us being us, I was like, well, that's the move, right? That's what we're gonna do to Jeff. Is fucking Zach will kick him in the face in the Merlion costume. So Zach and I invade Jeff's Lego room, and we're like in here, drinking beer, touching your Lego, doing stuff you don't even know about Jeff. And then Jeff came home, and it was beautiful. So here's that.
No fucking way! No fucking way! Holy shit! Oh my god, you guys been in here like as I've been moving the garbage?
Yes! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
The garbage can.
Holy crap-a-doodle!
So you were really surprised?
I'm completely surprised!
Yes!
I'm absolutely completely fucking surprised! How long have you been here? Holy shit!
Like an hour.
Holy
Hour and
fucking
a half.
shit!
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy thank you! Happy birthday to you! Wait, no. Wow!
Your wonderful wife said,
Wow.
hey, who wants to surprise Jeff for his birthday?
Holy shit!
And Andrew and I said, let's do it. Yeah.
We did it.
I'm so excited you're here! I gotta show you all things!
Hey, we're here for the weekend, and we brought a con with us, so we're gonna fucking set up
It's
mocks and everything.
birthday con.
Yeah.
Birthday con!
Exactly.
Is it Octocon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you taking this whole thing?
Yeah, it's great. It's great, right? One of the funniest things about that is, like, right before that, Zach looks over at me and he's like, don't actually kick Jeff in the face. And I'm like, it's fine. And there was like a robot claw thing, so I grabbed it because it was convenient. And I was like, I'm just going to pinch him in the nipple. And then that happened. So it was obviously a surprise, which, number one, great on us, everybody involved. I'm very proud and impressed. And the after action report, you immediately see every hole in your plan and everywhere that everybody could have identified the gig would have been up. You know, it was fine. Like, it all went out without a hitch, including the second surprise, the second supplies, which is the full whack-a-lug minus our contingent internationally. Shout out to you, Aaron. We know. The love is always there for you. But the second supplies was our boy Morrow showed up. I fucking love it. I love it. And we were so bad at this. Like, because after the initial surprise party, like, reveal, and then it's me and Zach and Jeff, and we're having a Lego convention, and we're throwing mocks on a table, and gearing up for the weekend, eat shit tons of sushi. Like, I eat so much fucking sushi, dude. It was out of control. And then we all know Morrow's coming, except for Jeff. And then he showed up, and it was fucking great. It was supplies part 2. And then we had like a full weekend planned. You know, we had a draft, we had a fucking collab thing. We actually had like an initial plan, which I wish this is where, like, had we actually like live streamed some of this, you know, Jeff and Morrow and Zach could have told you about parts of this instead of me. Too much good times. This is all you get. Just you and me. You're going to have to believe my stories about it. So, the first plan was Jeff was like, let's add to my Ninjago City. Because he has Ninjago City and Ninjago Gardens. And he had them on the table down, like, at play level. And, like, it's great. It's a great idea. Except there's a lot of, like, engineering involved in that. And then the other thing Jeff has is this giant space station, which was once Space Vegas, which has died and lived again and died and lived again. It's on its next life cycle. And he was like, bros, I need some buildings. You got to populate the ring. I want mushroom fungal buildings. And I was like, cool. I'm game. I'm so game. As were the boys. So we built a couple of buildings and whatnot. Me being the overachiever that I am, I built this. It's a swath of stuff. It was just one of those things where like I spent a lot of time on the tan bits and overthought the landing platforms and route systems and like all this shit. And then like the other two things just kind of exploded. Especially because why the fuck does Jeff have like 1 million wind socks? I don't know. Anyway, all that is a long, long way of saying supplies. Happy birthday, Jeff. You're the man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out here. Thanks for letting me and all the homies hang out at your house. And yeah, fucking, cheers. Back to you.
That'd be cool.
We're going to leave it at that.
Yes, we are.
Jeff, my homie, thank you for hanging out, bro.
Thanks for having me over, dude.
Internet, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, same.
We'll see you guys in the future.
We will. It's fun.